Hello guys and welcome to another episode in Motorsport International in Romanian Culture Cars. My name is Baicu Vlad-Andrei. I'm here with Miroslav Petkov. Hello Miroslav.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much to accept my invitation. Miroslav Petkov, ladies and gentlemen, mechanic on Emil Frey Racing. Emil Frey Racing competing in GT World Challenge, including DTM and other GT competition. Like I say, will tell us a couple of secrets about results, achievements, of course, results with the team, motorsport passion, how it goes, and other stuff like that. Miroslav, let's start with a little describe about you.
Yeah, I'm Miroslav Petkov, 50 years old, 40 years in motorsport, let's say. It's always been my passion, which in the later years turned it into my profession. So basically, it's my life all these years.
I understand. So your life has been only on the motorsport, like I say, because
Yes,
how you
exactly.
start the motorsport career and how you go on Emil Frey Racing as a mechanic, because you have an incredible story to tell.
It, it, it's a very long story, so I don't know how much time you have. But let's say the story begin in the late 70s, when in my hometown in Bulgaria, in Vraca, they opened up a karting track. I was living very close to it, and I even remember driving my pedal car while the track was still being built. I'm not sure even if I remember, or it's just because I have seen pictures from that time. But basically, I grew up in a karting track. Then when I was around 10 years old, I started to drive. That's why I say now it's 40 years motorsport as I'm 50 years old. And from there, it grew up. My goal was always to drive like Formula cars. It was my dream. That's why when I was 18 years old, I went to work for one of the famous Bulgarian drivers at that time. It's called Stoyan Apostolov, which is still active racing driver now at 76 years old. He was the best Formula driver in Bulgaria at that time. So I joined him. I started to work in his team, to race in his team with cars. And from then on, it progressed. I win the Bulgarian Junior Cup in '96 in the circuit. Then in year 2000, I managed to finally find enough money to start to race formulas in the Formula Renault with some races. I realized my budget is not very big, so I always did like club racing. But anyway, I was driving formulas, and also I was 26 years old, so I realized it's too late for a really professional career in motorsport. So I I was driving like club races, more like a hobby, but I started to work also like a mechanic to earn living from this. And also because when I'm working for other teams, I was getting better deals, let's say, to race and so on. And this is how it continued for the years to come until now. Okay, I stopped driving races in 2018 when my son Marty he started to race with kart. So basically, the money I earn in my work in motorsport, I'm investing again in motorsport in the Marty's career. And yeah, this is how it continues to this day.
If you try to find a difference between then and now, when you start the motorsport career, and of course Martin Stoyanov started the motorsport career as well, how is the difference? What just missed for you to continue in Formula Renault, and what is the progression now in motorsport? Because motorsport increased, and now the drivers from that part of the Europe, Balkans, East Europe, they have more chance like 20 years ago. So how is the difference, like I say, in your opinion?
Uh, yeah, the difference is huge difference. There is nothing in common, let's say. Uh, if I think to the time when I go to drive Formula Renault, like in the year 2000, there was still small teams, teams sleeping in the truck with a small truck with a tent, even teams with a father and son, was completely different world than the professional teams of today. And also the difference is that there was not so much internet and social media and so on. So it was really difficult to make connections. So it was really hard from people from the Eastern Bloc to come, especially if you don't have a big budget. And I must say, I was very naive at this time. I was thinking, you can go there and show that you are good and, find sponsors and so on. I didn't realize the whole picture that you need always to represent some market and, bring some value to the team, not only driving. So yeah, with the time you learn and you improve. And I think now the sport in general evolved a lot and it's become very professional even in the low levels. But also the drivers, they have so much information, so much ways to learn. So they are becoming really professional from very, very young age.
Exactly, exactly. And of course, tell me with your team, Emil Frey Racing, tell me what was the objective for 2024 and what is your plan for 2025? Because Emil Frey Racing from a simple team, like I say, with Jaguar, now driving with Ferrari, two Ferraris in DTM and also in GT World Challenge and other competition, other GT competition. So what is the plan and objective for this Switzerland team?
Yeah, yeah, let's say, of course, always the target is to win. You know, we have two very good drivers in the DTM with Jack Aitken and Thierry Vermeulen. Jack, of course, is a very good professional driver. Thierry had unbelievable progress in the last 2 years. So they are always, you know, let's say, in the fight for good results. But that time is so professional championship that is really, really hard. The smallest mistake and you are, you know, 3/10 off. And if you are 3/10 off, then you are P14. It's so tight there with all the.
And of course, sorry if I interrupt you, Miroslav. The teams, of course, try to find the best drivers to complete and finish first, and of course, first for the sponsors because the sponsors decide the budget, like I say in motorsport. And tell me, how is the motorsport in Bulgaria right now? From 20 a couple of years ago to now, do you see a different right now?
Mm, I think the situation in Bulgaria is very, very, let's say, difficult in the moment. I would say a mess, just because there is some problems between two federations that fight for the power. So we end up with 2024 don't having any official races in Bulgaria. So in general, the motorsport is changing a lot. So this that there is no official races in Bulgaria doesn't mean there is no races and people don't race. People just go to race in Serbia, in Romania, in Greece. What who is suffering actually is the public in Bulgaria, the fans, because they don't have the racing. The drivers with a more small budget that cannot afford to go to Romania, Greece, or Serbia, they also suffer. But the motorsport is continuing. Now there is, you know, the Dragon circuit is being rebuilt. I think it will be finished this spring. So sure, the motorsport will continue in the more club level, more in the circuit. What will suffer is like the rally championship is nearly dead now, just because of all these problems and so on. So I must say it's a pity the situation in motorsport in Bulgaria.
But of course, drivers like Alexandra Vateva, Stevan Bostangiev, Pavel Lefterov, Martin Stoyanov, your son, Georgi Donchev, excuse me, Martin Choi, and of course other Bulgarian drivers try to represent Bulgaria very well in the top of the motorsport. What's your opinion? Do you believe they attract the sponsors from Bulgaria to represent Bulgaria all around the world?
Uh, I think it's difficult, really difficult, because somehow the motorsport in Bulgaria doesn't get very good publicity, especially now because of these problems. But it's a paradox. Last year, in the year where there was no official races in Bulgaria and there is a massive motorsport, we had one of the best years in the international scene of motorsport. It's
Exactly.
really paradoxal. You know, we had Nikola Tsov winning races in Formula 3, you know, Pavel Lefterov, Georgi Dimitrov, Bustagiev, they had also very good results in the Lamborghini Challenge. Marty had some wins on his side
Nikola
and so
Tsolov,
on.
let's not forget in Formula 3.
I mentioned first him,
Ah,
yes,
excuse me, sorry.
that he had some wins in Formula 3. Yeah. And there is also so many kids in karting doing really well in the international scene now, like Ruikov, Luburikov, to mention. So it's really paradoxal that the motorsport is dying inside Bulgaria, but all the talent is going outside to represent Bulgaria.
And of course, try to represent Bulgaria and of course represent the Balkans on the highest level of motorsport because from Romania, Serbia, Croatia, Turkey, we have an incredible drivers. Of course, in Romania, including my country, to represent
Yeah.
exactly. And of course, Miroslav, because you know exactly how you start a motorsport career, and of course, you have a lot of recommendation. What do you recommend for rookie or next generation to start with? Which competition, which events? Which track day? What do you recommend for a rookie or next generation driver to start with?
Uh, for me, if the people want to make a professional career, now let's say the way with the most opportunities is the GT racing, endurance racing, where you can find with somebody to share the car. And of course, there is also many manufacturers involved, which gives more opportunities. So, like for me, endurance racing, GT racing, that's the good way for prospective drivers to go. I see now in Romania you have also this Dacia Cup together with your endurance championship,
Yes,
which is
Romanian
also
Endurance
really
Series.
attractive because I know there the drivers can start from 13 years old and it costs less than to go and do karting races, you know.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
that, for example, is really attractive.
I understand. And of course, because we talk about the rookie and next generation, of course, to talk about people to convince to come on events and track day also. Miroslav, let's start to describe a serious question. In my country, the motorsport is being promoted by two phrases. Street is not circuit and champions are in circuit, not in the street. To tell us people for the first time watching us our interview, people already watching me will know exactly what I'm talking about. In your opinion, what do you have to do to convince people to come on events and track days, and what can we do to stop street racing?
I think what you say is absolutely right. It's a big topic because there is many young people who naturally they are attracted by the speed and the cars, but they do it on the street. And the problem is in the street it's really dangerous because there is other people that you endanger when you drive fast, and also people who are not involved in this. The circumstance in which you are is dangerous. The road is more slippery and so on, so on, so on. It's really much better for the young people come to the circuit. You can drive there. There is now enough track days, even in the Balkans, organized everywhere. We have Ceres, we have Dracon, we have Motopark Romania, and so on. There is so many good places to drive, and
Grobnik
you
in
can try it.
Croatia to complete.
Exactly, exactly. Even Navak in Serbia.
In Navak,
It's
exactly.
yes, so many good places in the Balkans to go and try your car. There is so many good club championships where you can go and try with your own car. Like in Bulgaria, we have this BMW Cup, which is really for street cars. You can go with your street cars and race. So really so good. And you can, in the circuit, you can build up your skills. You can make mistakes and you just end up in the grass, no problem. Maybe you damage a little bit the car, but you don't go in the tree and then kill yourself or kill somebody in the street, which is really bad and happens a lot. So really, the young people, if they are watching this, just go to the circuit, do it there, or just go to the rental car track. You see, even so much fun to drive there.
Exactly, exactly.
Not, not,
Indoor and outdoor events for karting because we have a lot of them, and of course a lot of motorsport and a lot of events. So everything you need to get, ladies and gentlemen, is to check the website, check the local tracks, check the events, check the website about events, competition, other stuff like that, to coming and to see a real motorsport, like I said, and of course see motorsport how it goes, especially with the car, with the setup, with the I don't know tires if you are passionate about tires or mechanic or something like that, just like you, Miroslav, and of course try to see exactly how it goes, because what you see on TV is so much different like what you see face to face. This is that's for sure, to talk exactly with the people. And Miroslav, before we end the interview, and thank you so much to accept my invitation. If you want, guys, to watching him, I will let you on the social media in the description down below to ask them, and of course follow him about the latest news, excuse me, from the 2025. Of course, I will let you only and including the Emil Frey Racing social media in the description down below, also to see exactly Emil Frey Racing, how he goes, the plans for 2025 and others. So if you don't want to asking him on the social media, in the comment section down below is gonna be a Q&A session, a traditional Q&A session, and you can ask him all about motorsport, all about Emil Frey Racing, all about everything. So social media in the description or comment section down below. Miroslav, before we end in the interview, I have a decided question, like I say. Martin Stoyanov is been the new driver for the Emil Frey Racing in 2-3 years.
Let's hope. Let's hope. He's still quite young, so he still have some time until he's sitting in the GT3 car. But we are trying to develop him in the right way. Of course, it's really difficult financially, so we will see what the future will bring.
I understand that, of course, maybe if he compete in a GT4 competition is a very, very good start with if you want to go in the
Yeah,
GT competition, because I'm talking with him and he tell me he wants to go from to go for GT, including the GT4 in that moment. After that, go in the GT3 Cup and GT3 also. Cars like Emil Frey Racing, the Ferrari 296, because why not? He have an incredible perspective, and of course the results help him to create a great achievements, and of course a great list to go in the best teams in the world in that moment. A message for fans in the final. Can you tell us a message for fans?
Yeah, just keep enjoying motorsport. Come to the circuit to see it live, and just keep enjoying it. Keep the passion up.
Yes, guys, and before we end the interview, and of course, if you want, guys, to come to see and tell us your story, results, achievements, and much more, is very easy. I will send you an invitation for Miroslav to invite other people for Motorsport International. Of course, also I will invite other people to tell us your story, results, achievements, and much more. But if you know Miroslav and see our interview, and you have some story to tell us and other stuff like that, is very easy. Contact Miroslav. After that, Miroslav contact me, and we will set a day and time to tell us your story, results, achievements, and much more, because everyone is welcome to join us in our community. Before we making the outro or the final interview, do you have other something to say, or we let the people to tell some questions and answer after that?
Yes, let's have the questions and then we can answer.
All right, so guys, remember in the comment section down below, Q&A session, or in the description down below, social media, and of course you can send all questions about Miroslav Petkov. Thank you so much, Miroslav. Let's see the 2025 how it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, Miroslav Petkov, mechanic for Emil Frey Racing, a famous Switzerland team who competing in GT World Challenge, DTM, and other GT competition like that, with an incredible passion about motorsport, coming in our interview in Motorsport International. Let's see the 2025 how it goes, excuse me. And before we end it, thank you so much everyone to watching us another episode in Motorsport International in Romanian Culture Cars. Until next time, I'm Baicu Vlad-Andrei, with me again Miroslav Petkov. Thank you so much, Miroslav. Let's see the 2025 how it goes. Remember guys, street is not circuit, you are the best, and let's go racing. Vroom!